Howdy, Ahmed, and we are here to review Rapid Rails Agency. Thank you for reaching out. I'm happy to take a look at this. I've already looked through it a little bit just to get an idea of what you're offering and put a few thoughts together. So, I do know what you're offering after I read through it. So, my first takeaway, it's a little fuzzy until I really get into the details. And so we'll talk about that, plus the other items that you listed out that you wanted input on, including pricing and messaging and a few others. So let's go ahead and dive in. So just a quick scroll through of your site, Rapid Rails Agency, bringing your design to life. At Rapid Rails, we turn your designs into tailor-made Rails UI components, transform your Rails app, tackling designs, tools, launch week, simple, affordable pricing, 2 simple plans, choose a plan that's right for you. Start a free trial, transform your design into Rails code, see our work in action. There's a misspelling right there. This little squiggly thing. All right. Oh, and you have some links down here too. I didn't see these. Let's see. Okay, so that goes to your Twitter and GitHub and website and email. Okay. All right. Toronto. Great. Okay, so what I did was I screenshotted this site and I put it into Figma so I could write some notes and add markup and stuff and other links. I also looked at your Rapid Rails component page since I noticed they were both on the same domain. And I think that's one thing when you need to consider here. So right now the way it stands is this is your primary domain, Rapid Rails components. And I'm guessing that's probably because that's how you initially built this. And as you built this product out, then now you're adding on this as a service. And so while that does work, I think you might want to flip the script on it where this is your primary domain if you're going agency. So maybe wait until you get some traction on this service portion. But you might want to be like Rapid Rails. Just call it Rapid Rails. The service you provide is designed to Rails code. And so they could hire you to do that. And that's the pricing for this. Or if they want to do it themselves, they can purchase your Bootstrap kit, or your boilerplate kit for Rails. So it's been a while since I've worked in Rails, and so I'm trying to. So I don't know all the most up to date news and how things are working. So I don't know exactly how Ruby on Rails UI and components or kits work now with Rails. So I don't know, because when I was working on it, it was just like MVC stuff. But then now that React, I know more about React and the JavaScript libraries for components than I do Rails. So maybe Rails is working that same way now. I'm not sure. So that makes me a little unsure whether this is a common nomenclature that people understand off the bat, or if it's more like Rapid Rails UI is your term for your package. Just because I know, like for iOS development, there's Swift UI, which is like a real thing, and then people build boilerplates using Swift UI. So that's something I don't know personally. But that's not to stop you in any way. It might just need a little bit of clarity somewhere. But I also think, so you talk a lot here about we turn your designs into tailor-made Rails UI components. So this is what makes me think like maybe Rails UI components is a common use or commonly used in terminology when it comes to Rails. So maybe people already know what that is. But I think we can make it a little bit simpler still. So when we're talking about landing pages, I kind of have my go-to setup, which is this. So I've provided that here, and I will send you this link to this Figma document as well as this video. So I kind of follow this standard guideline for structuring my content and my messaging for my landing pages. Doesn't mean you have to follow this to the dot, but use it as a recommendation. But it at least like touches on all of these points that people have questions about and need answers to make that conversion. So when we talk about a page, a website, one way to talk about it is the above the fold section and the below the fold. And you may have already heard these terms. Above the fold is whatever you see when you first land on the page in view in your browser. So the above the fold right here for me cuts off at this little squiggly line. So basically right here. So that's pretty common. So the term above the fold and below the fold can be controversial at times with designers because it goes back to the days of newspapers where newspapers, they're large format, they're folded over, and then they're stacked at the newsstand, and whatever's on the top half of the front page is visible, and whatever's on the bottom half is below the fold. So above the fold, below the fold, you don't see what's below the fold until you flip the newspaper out. So whatever's above the fold is your initial hook that you're getting people in, and you want them to continue on. And so we kind of use that same term, even though it's not a huge issue. Like people complain about, oh, people don't scroll, or they say that, and they're like, we got to put everything up above the fold. Not true. You want to write and create your above the fold section where it entices people to continue down and continue reading and continue looking into your content. And you don't have to do that with an arrow or a pointer finger or text that says scroll. You can make that natural in many ways, whether it's just having content continue down, or teasing another section from below, or having an image that goes with your hero section that continues down below that break. There's a lot of ways you can do it. So we'll come back to the hero in a moment. Let's just take a look at the overview. Above the fold, hero section. Below the fold, logo farm and testimonial. So these are social proof that prove that people are interested in this, people use it, people find value in what you're offering. Logo farm is typically a list of clients that you've worked with or that have used your product and recommend it, or press coverage. So if you don't have clients or customer logos that are well known enough to list, but you do have press coverage, excuse me, where you've been talked about on or posted on other websites, whether it's Mashable or Product Hunt or Indie Hackers or whatever, you could put those there. Right now, you're probably not even at that point. So if you don't have any kind of logos to put in, don't worry about it. Now, testimonials is what you need to start gathering. Testimonials are key because these are real people that have used your product or service and appreciate it. So always as you're starting off, always be gathering testimonials, even if that means that you need to kind of like coerce some people to give you testimonials. If it's like, hey, I want you to try this service, I will perform this service for you for free if you give me testimonials. Give me a testimonial afterward. Completely up to you what you want to say, but I would appreciate a testimonial. Or you get, I mean, you get, if it was this Rails component kit boilerplate, then you say, hey, can I give you this to try out? A copy of this boilerplate to try out, and then you give me some feedback on it. So something like that. And if you're pre-launch or you don't have any testimonials at all, what you can do, excuse me, is either get smart quotations from people in the industry. So they might be saying, you might see somebody saying something about Ruby on Rails and how we need something that like this service that you're offering. Or you might have other people in the industry, you might ask them to comment on what you're offering. So you might show a friend or somebody else in the community what you're building. Say, hey, I'm building this service. It's give me your design, and this is how it's going to work. Customers give me the designs. I build Rails UI components. What do you think about that? And so you might just have somebody that comments on there like, this is something that I would use. Boom. You got a testimonial or a quotation. So that's what you can do early on before you have any real customer paid testimonials. And I like to see 3 of those at the top, right after the hero section. A product demo is either a video, so like a short video, 50 seconds or less, showing off your product, or a live interactive component or embed. So you kind of have that going on down here, and that's cool. So you might be able to use this type of components up here for a live demo, and make it very clear, like, hey, this is a live demo, interactive. Like when I see it here, you don't really know that it's interactive at all. So put like some big red arrows or something that point to it. Try it, and right, try me. That's what that says. So something that they can actually like click on and toggle between some stuff just to see how it works. So that's product demo. Next, I like to see how it works. And what I mean by that is like the step-by-step process that you will deliver this service. So it's a 1, 2, 3 process. Any steps more, like if you go to 5 steps, that's a lot. If you go beyond 5 steps, you're doing something wrong. So how it works: 1, you send us your design files. So write that, and then you give me like a little graphic. 2, we build it into code, and so put like some components, and then put like a terminal image back here with just some code faded behind these component images. 3, we deliver a ready to use Rails UI kit to you based on your designs. So something like that, how it works, and that simplifies the process down to something digestible and rememberable. You may already have some of that. I think you do, but it's kind of mixed in. All right, so how it works. Features and objections. This is where you can go more in depth about a lot of things. So that's where like some of this content comes in, some of this, some of choose your plan. Okay, so this is actually, now that I'm reading this again, this is your how it works. But make it very clear. Call it how it works. Just be straightforward and simple. It's better to be straightforward and simple than to try to write fancy language. And don't make this choose your plan. I see a lot of services make that the first step, but it's like that's the least important step of the process. Turn around in days, not weeks. We work rapidly, Monday to Friday. Iterate to perfection. Yeah. So like I said here, this is kind of like the 3 steps that I would recommend showing, because you don't want to say we have to iterate or we have to do this or that, or you don't want to talk about not the time frame. You just want to talk about the facts of what happens, and that by step 3 they're off to success. Okay. So features and actually I should change this. The features, benefits, and objections. That's what you really want to hit on here. So you want to talk about like the actual features are the things that you offer. The benefits are what they will gain by using your service, and the objections are things that they're going to think that turn them off from continuing. So features would be like we take your design, Figma, Sketch, whatever it is, we turn it into real code, ready to go. And benefits would be you're saving time, you're focusing on your business, and the aspects of the business as far as design and marketing or building or whatever, and not having to deal with the nitty gritty, boring stuff of creating components. And benefits are also like, so you're saving time, money, the things that everybody wants. And then the objections would be like, how do I know I'm going to, this is going to be up to par as far as my quality standards? Well, here's some of our work that you can view and see how we work. And 2, we offer a money back guarantee. You don't like the work, we give you your money back. Or objections. I'm sure you can come up with some others. If I need to, I can think about more and come up with them. So this text was really long. I didn't even read it. Use cases. Okay, so features and benefits and objections. We talked about that. Use cases. Use cases, I like to list the role of people and the actions that they're trying to do. So let me show you a quick example of my own landing page for this service, which is still a work in progress. So I have a okay, so here I put problems and benefits. So I think that's something that you can do. I kind of talked about that a little bit. Problems, these are your problems. Benefits, you get these things. How it works, 1, 2, 3. And oh, wait a second. Where's my use case? I don't have it on here. Let's look at my design file. It's a mess, and I don't have it on here either. Okay, anyways, what is it? Use cases. You want to list the roles. So it might be indie hacker, product manager, designer, solopreneur, that sort of thing. And then the actions that they would take are like, I need to build a fast MVP. I need developers to handle these actions. I'm a designer, but I'm not a developer. And basically what you want is when people are visiting your page and they're reading it, you want them to see things throughout the page and in use cases that they identify as. So if I'm scrolling through, boom, I'm a designer and I'm not a developer and I need somebody to develop this code for me. Or I'm a solopreneur and I'm building this product, this MVP, and I need to speed my process up. So that's what use cases are for, and you want to connect with your site visitors. After that, more social proof. So this is typically in the form of testimonials. So what I like to say is 3 testimonials at the top. If you have, and then whenever you have more, 5 to 12. Actually, I think 7 to 12 down below, where they're just stacked in a grid, and there's lots of ways you could do that. And then if you have more than 20, then create a dedicated testimonials page where you list all of them beyond that. Let's see, what else? You have FAQs, but I think that needs to go higher up here, as I show right here in this list of sections. This is tools that you use, but when I saw it, it didn't quite tell me that. What I saw was like logos, and for some reason, just seeing these right here, like I only read these first 2, which made me, even though I know what Rails is, I don't know what Hotwire is. Makes me think I'm looking at a list of brand logos, and it made me think automotive. Like I was looking at something at O'Reilly or one of the other automotive stores, AutoZone. So I would move this probably up into the features, benefits, and objections area, and make it clear what these are. Like you don't have to say all this stuff. Just say tools of the trade, or how we get things done. Just something simple like that. All right, next is pricing. Let me take a quick look down below here. Transform your design, see our work in action. Yeah, this needs to go farther up. Pricing needs to go down the page. FAQs, yeah, okay. So pricing, simple and affordable pricing. I think that's a bit generic. I would probably just say something like, pick a plan that works for you. Because you say that again, I think you're redundant on a number of things that you're saying here. So I would probably just say, pick a plan. Now here's where I question your pricing model a little bit, and I don't really know. So this is up to you as the expert, and you have insight into this space. The idea of the monthly retainer, I don't know how that works in this use case. If it makes sense for this style, it only seems like it would if the customer either had a long-term contract or that they needed to fulfill, like they needed you to be there working for the next 6 months as things are designed and developed, or yeah, I think that, or my initial intuition is like they have a design probably completely done and wrapped up, and they're coming to you to have it created as Rails components, and so that's all they want, is they want, here's what I have designed, I want it all done, what's it going to cost and how long is it going to take. And I get the whole, you hire me monthly, I do one request at a time. If I can get it average of 48 hours turnarounds, I could probably get 2 or 3 requests done per week times 4. Let's just say 3. That's 12 requests per month. What is a request? Is it like one single component, or one aspect of a component, or elements, or full-blown components, or pages, or what? Or can I? So that's my dilemma. Is like, I don't, if I hire you, I don't want that to be a limitation to having my full Rails UI built out, because I'm in a rush probably, and I just want to know what's it going to cost and how long is it going to take. So if I have a design for a site or an app, and let's say I designed it in Figma, and I've already componentized everything, so I kind of have an idea, and I have 200 components. Well, if you only take one request at a time, average turnaround of 48 hours, you can only do about 12 requests per month. How am I supposed to calculate how long this is going to take? Do I say 200 components divided by 12? That's how many, is that right? Months it's going to take to get this done? Or is it, like, I know how components work. So like, some components are very tiny, like an avatar image, and then some are very large, like autocomplete search. So that kind of is a stickler in my mind if I was coming into this as a potential customer. And so that goes for the standard plan and the pro plan. So I don't know how to rectify that. Maybe you have some ideas. I mean, yeah. So having a flat fee might be nice. Like if you can, it is nice to show the pricing up front, something. So maybe it's just like, hey, we'll look at your design project, and then we'll give you an accurate price. But we develop your design into Rails components for a flat fee, and that usually costs between $2,500 to $4,500 for a full design. If you need something beyond that, we can go custom. I just think that I think the subscription thing, it seems to be working for some people supposedly. But I think as a whole, people are tired of have subscription fatigue, and so I just wonder how long that's gonna last. I don't know. So it's a bit of a question. I would also clarify some stuff like, what does one team member mean? What does unlimited team members mean? Does that mean like from your customer's team, one person can make a request, or unlimited people can make a request and fill in the request log? I would also change, like if you're going to do 2 plans, whether it's monthly or not, then you need to make this plan much more valuable than the other, and give yourself a lot of leeway on this one. So average 72 hours turnaround, average 48 hours, something like that. Unlimited UI components and blocks. So I this needs to be limited in some way. One team member, question on that: easy credit card, pause or cancel anytime, private Basecamp project, okay. Documentation using Lookbook. I think that's a great add-on. And I didn't know what Lookbook was personally, so having a link and an explanation was nice. What I think you're overkilling it on the information modal or pop-ups, tooltips, because a lot of them that I saw just weren't really necessary. They were repetitive, one request at a time. While you can add as many requests as you like to the pipeline, only one request can be active at a time. Pause or cancels anytime. You can pause or cancel your subscription at any time. Not necessary. So get rid of most of those. We only allow one team member to be added to the project. We allow unlimited team members to be added to the projects. Okay, so that kind of answers it, I'm guessing, but that might just be like added to Basecamp. I want to know about the request. Who can put in requests? Is it going to be like you have a point person at your customer's company and they're the ones that funnels everything in? Or is it just like Joe, Bob, Jerry, and Mary can all submit rando requests whenever they like? So figure that out and protect yourself some. Here's what's killing your cards or your pricing cards. This line right here. Get rid of that. Like, these need to be single items. So this needs to have a bottom. This needs to go away. I'll tell you why in a moment. This needs to go away because it doesn't add anything. Make these distinct cards that stand out. Get rid of this duo color, two-tone color thing. And yeah, get rid of that. Perfect for growing businesses and companies that want the best. Ideal for SOA developer, startups, or smaller teams. Developers, startups, or small. Make this and, not or. And smaller teams. Perfect for growing businesses and companies that want the best. Get rid of this comma. You don't need that if you're only listing 2 items in a list. I wouldn't say that want the best. I would, because here you're just calling out like specific use cases for people, and then you're doing the same thing here. All right, so I hope that helps. I don't know the right pricing numbers, so that's why I kind of just guessed. I also don't know where you live, and so how that affects your ability to price. Okay, so book a call. I would just make this its own block down below here. That you don't need to list it every time. So I would just have like book a call, like get an idea of what this is like, something like that. I'm not sure what to say about this trial period. I would probably not list it in line with these two, but below for sure. But break it off. Don't have these connected. This needs to be sitting on its own and look distinctly different from this one. So something like that. So I already told you about all these things. What you don't have that I think you need to add is the founder's note. Second CTA as well. So second CTA, down at the bottom, goes below the pricing, and it reiterates what you're saying up here at the top, but down here. And then founder's note is a little bit about you. And the reason you need this, it's essential, is because you need to prove to potential customers that this is a real service, you are a real person performing the service, you're reputable, you exist in the world and elsewhere on the internet, and they can trust you. That's why you do all of the social trust, the testimonials, the client work that you can show. Here's mine that I put on my page. And it doesn't have to be long. Don't make it long. This is me, a real picture. This is who I am. 3 short paragraphs, 3 lines really. And then links to me on Twitter, LinkedIn, and my personal site. Boom. You can find me in places. You can see my history of where I've worked, where I work now, what I've previously done. You can contact me. I'm a real human being. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not trying to scam you or sham you. So I would highly recommend that. You need something down here for that. I don't know if I care for this much right here in the footer zone. You really don't need this. This I don't think you really need either because you only have a 1 page. If you want to put this, it needs to be up here at the top. Actually, you know what? I kind of skipped over the hero section. So we're going to come to that as we wrap this up. So I would just get rid of both of these here and reorganize this stuff. It's just floating around a bit too much. But let's go back to the top. So you have these quick links, these jump links that take you to the sections of this page. But they're at the bottom. So it's not really doing much. you need to change your top navigation. Your logo and brand name need to be over here. You need to have a CTA right here, which is like get started or something, not see plans. And then you need to have your jump links that go to the different sections right here in the middle. Now, coming back around to it, let's talk about the hero section. And then I'm going to double check to make sure I covered all of the questions you had. The hero section, this is probably the most important piece because this is what is going to initially capture, promote your message and capture their attention and keep them on the page. Now, you are offering design to Rails, okay? And that's what I wanted to say. Your designs converted to Rails code. That's what I wanted to say here. Not bring your design to life. It needs to be clear that they bring their own designs, you do the coding, and Rails is involved. So this is only for people that want to work in Rails or are in Rails. So you don't need to advertise to anyone else except for people interested in Rails. So that narrows down your niche a lot and your potential customers. So what did I just say? Your design, I didn't say turned into but I'll write that. Turned into Rails code. I think I had another word besides turned into. Okay, so you have your headline, your subtext. Subtext strengthens what you're saying in your headline. So this is your big headline. I don't know that this is needed right here at all. So I would probably just nix it for now. So your design turned into Rails code. Don't say at Rapid Rails, get rid of that. Just say Rapid Rails. And don't say we, just say, so you would say Rapid Rails turns your designs into tailor-made Rails code. It's perfect for startups and agencies. That might be it. You might be able to just break this off. Seamlessly integrate with your Rails app and elevate your project. Yeah, I would just clip that off. So that's really all you need to say. And then you need a CTA, a big, fat, happy CTA button that it doesn't say how it works or see plans. It says, let's get started. Or send your designs. That might be the best one, is send your designs. Boom. So that would be your primary CTA. You're telling them what to do. Now, what you can do, you make this one a big, colorful button, full color. Next to it, I think what you can do is, since you're offering, what was it down here? What did it say? Book a call. Then you could add that here, but do it as a transparent button. So it just has an outline, or an outline button. So it has an outline and it says book a call to discuss, or book a call. But make this one colored and powerful. What you don't have that I typically recommend is a visual here. And so you could do that, and it could be really easy. Like, you could show a screenshot of a website, or you could do a screenshot of a website with like some floating components over it, and like a little snippet of a terminal, something like that, to give it a little bit more decoration. It doesn't have to be crazy. Let's see. Okay, I didn't do that here. So this is what I did for one of my portfolio pages. All I did was put a screenshot of the website that I designed right there. I have other examples over here. There's a lot of hero styles that people typically go to, so you could always investigate that. I also have, so these are all right here. This list is all products and projects that I've already reviewed. But down at the very bottom, I have one for hero sections that I'm just kind of collecting different interesting concepts. So you could take a look at that. And don't go crazy. Keep it simple. These are all a bit more extreme as far as what they're showing. But just something simple. Look at this. Look at this. Financial consult that leads you to your goals. That's a bit of a mouthful. But there's your headline. There's your subtext. There's your CTA. And it's even telling you what it cost. Here's some social proof up here. And then here's your imagery. And it just kind of points to what it offers. So you get an actual consultant working for you. Here's some good metrics that you can see. This is our rating, our clients rating us. So just something simple that you can show that speaks to the service that you're providing. Now, your questions. I would like feedback on background color, font sizes, and style overall. Do I need more breaks between sections or headlines? Is my message clear? Pricing, we talked about that one. What else do you see? So I mentioned a lot of other things. I mentioned pricing. I commented on messaging, more breaks and sections. So I think you need to think about how to organize things. If you follow kind of my structure here, you can do zebra striping or little designs that separate sections. That's fine. But think about how you're logically grouping these sections a little bit and see if that helps you rearrange and group items and zebra stripe it differently. Okay, hard one. Background color, font sizes, and style. Looking at this, I feel like it does not speak to the work and the service that you are offering. This design is light and bubbly and playful, but it doesn't really have the connotation of a professional service and offering mostly a professional service in as a developer or writing code. So that is I think it's a bit off there. And that plus there's a lot of what I call decoration. So there's text and there's decoration. You have swirlies, you have confetti things, you have off tilt word blocks, you have these outline hover buttons, you have squiggles, you have some icons. I don't know what they really mean. You have a wavy, you have patterns in the background, you have one illustration of people high-fiving. Occasionally you have a emoji, which I do like using emojis. And then you have some actual like real components down here. So it's missing something in my opinion. I would also like to see a different logo. This is more of a graphic. Give me something that is a simple symbol. Okay? And I already know just looking at this, like I know this is an AI generated graphic. So I want something simpler. You have your rapid rails. I mean, you got double R's. Like there's a lot that you can do that would be really simple to make an icon. Let me see if I can come up with something in 2 seconds. Right there. Boom. You do that. You make it a red color. I mean, that doesn't really do anything yet, but you come up with something else to connect it in a way that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Somehow I have this idea. I'm also thinking if something from Dragon Ball Z, the Red Army. I can't remember what they had, but it was like these triangles or something like that. But, you know, logo is not going to be what makes or breaks your service. But I think you can do something better than that. I would recommend using a template that you can pull up. So I don't know how you develop this site, if it's Rails or if it's on another platform. Let's see if I can find out. It's Rails. So that might be overkill for just a simple marketing website. It's not wrong, but it might be overkill unless there's like a UI kit that you can pull in and use. Let's see what typeface you're using. Enter. Is that enter? Yeah, that's Merriweather. That's not right. That's not Merriweather. Enter. That's enter. Merriweather Sans. I would stick to one font style. That does not look like enter. Maybe that's Merriweather. Just to keep it simple, Merriweather Sans, but it was scratched out. I don't know, man. What is that? And so you're not loading too many. Like if you're using 2 sans serifs, you probably don't need to. You can probably just stick to one. Enter would be a safe bet right now. It's easy. It's clean. That's what I'm using here. And so you can see, like, this looks different. So I think... Come on, screenshotter. I think it would improve the design here if you just used enter. Let's say this. Your design turned into Rails code. Let's change that back to enter. Let's make it, you can go bold or extra bold. I went extra bold on mine this time, but bold is standard. Your design turned into Rails code. You make this the color, Rails red, or you even put the Rails logo in line here. Or you do your design turned into Rails code. But let's pretend that this is actually the Rails logo or something like that. Yeah, so I really think you just need a better design toolkit for this. So you're a developer. So stick to what you're really good at and get help where you're not skilled. So I mean, how do you do that? I ended up building this in Framer, my portfolio site, which I kind of have a love-hate with, but they have a lot of templates that you could start with. Mine's custom, but you can find Framer templates, and then you just rearrange stuff until you find one that looks right for you. Look at this, Axios for free. And then you can rearrange sections and content, add your own content. I mean, this looks pretty nice already. I don't like these kind of components really, because the content is hidden unless you click. Okay, there's stuff, boxes. This is okay. It doesn't look like it's as full featured as you may need it to be. But maybe they have more pages. Oh, they do. I mean, this isn't bad for a free template on Framer. You could also find specific, let's see, where do they have templates? They usually have a way that you could sort by category types, like product, featured categories, of course, landing page. I know I've seen some recently that kind of had the look and feel you were going for. So I would consider doing something like that. Find something that is well designed and fits your brand the way you want it to look, that you can use off the shelf. You're a developer and you're a product and service owner, and that's what you offer. So you don't want to spend a lot of time on design. You don't want to spend a lot of time having to write custom design or code for your marketing site. You have more important things you need to do. So make it easy on yourself. Find something useful, something that matches your service and the product type and the customers that you want to attract. So if you want to bring in customers that are bubbly and whimsical, maybe this is the right look for you. But if you're bringing in customers that are SaaS or product or services or professional, then this might not be the right look for you. All right, so I know that was a lot, and I talk a lot and too long sometimes. Anywho, this is really cool. I love what you're doing. I checked out some of your other stuff. I checked out your Twitter and all. I'll be following you and watching what you continue to build. I can't wait to see how you continue to grow Rapid Rails, the agency side and the UI side. So I hope this helps. I know I don't answer all the questions or give you all of the answers that you need, but I hope this sparks ideas in your head and puts you on the right path to make smart decisions and grow your business. Have a good day. Bye.